Okay, I want you to delve into this inquiry. Where do you find yourself on the path of inner mastery, on the path of arriving at a place of deepest fulfillment in this lifetime? You'll recognize parts of this journey, and other parts might be yet to be explored. And so keep your eyes and ears open and pinpoint exactly which of the three stages you feel that you are at. Hello, beautiful human. My name's Dan. And I've been working with high-level entrepreneurs and founders on nervous system health and psycho-spiritual development for over a decade now. As a former physiotherapist working in elite sport, running multiple businesses, and now facilitating deep nervous system reset retreats, I've witnessed successful leaders navigate this exact path of inner work. And I've walked this exact journey myself. I've done multiple Vipassanas, 10-day silent meditation retreats. I've sat in ceremony in the Peruvian Amazon with indigenous tribes, with maestras, with maestros. I've spent thousands of hours in day-to-day meditation over the past 15 years. I know these three stages intimately, not just from guiding others through them, but from living them. And the process continues to deepen for me. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what I see as the three stages that everyone goes through on the path of genuine inner mastery, from the rejection through to transcendence to embodied liberation. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to pinpoint exactly where you are on this journey, recognize what's required to move forward, and understand what it means to reclaim your humanity and why it might be the most spiritual thing you'll ever do. If you stay to the end, I'll give you the exact reflective process I use with my private clients to identify which stage they're in and what their nervous system actually needs. First, we reject the notion of spirituality altogether. The notion of something greater than us, the notion of connecting with something that is greater than we have been taking ourselves to be. We're heavily distracted in a world brilliantly designed for distraction. And to define spirituality for me, it is to genuinely know thyself. Yeah. Separate from any of the packaging that often comes with spirituality, stripped of performance, of ideology. And now look, this makes sense. Yeah. The noise is constant. The demands are relentless. The idea of sitting still, of going inward, of connecting with something beyond the material, it feels impractical, feels like a distraction, and it might even come across as woo-woo. What the hell are you even talking about? Get real. Be here. It may even feel weak. And here's what's interesting about stage one. Materialistic success, the achievement orientation, the drive to build and prove, this has a place in the maturation process of human consciousness. You needed to self-actualize. You needed to master the external world before you could turn inward with the same rigor and commitment. So if you're watching this and you've spent years rejecting anything that smells like spirituality, that's not wrong. That's stage one. That's necessary. But there comes a point where something shifts, where the external achievements stop filling you up the way that they used to. And that shift is the entry into stage two. So then we get the itch. There's got to be more beyond simply materialistic success. And look, this has a place in the maturation process. We start questioning things that we've just taken to be true as we've been told that they are at school by parents and other authorities. It might start with mindset work, simple awareness practices, and meditation techniques that have us realize who we take ourselves to be, who we've been told we need to be, or how we should or shouldn't be. And we go deeper and deeper into an exploration of what we are beyond this human body as pure consciousness, the absolute, and seemingly one with the all, as the all. We come into union with that as that. And in that process, we naturally reject our humanity in this physical plane, not with any real intention, ill intention, but simply because we are now reclaiming the grandness of our divinity, identifying as divinity itself, renouncing anything material in nature and needing money or things or possessions, deeming attention to the body as unnecessary, as it itself is material in nature on this physical plane, not so important, right? Spending hours in meditation, connected with the all and as less. And let me tell you, it's genuinely beautiful. But, and this is where most people get stuck. Whilst in human form and living in Western society, attempting to build businesses, maintain relationships, contribute to the world, this state is limited. You find yourself floating above your life instead of being in it, taking things less personally, yeah, for sure. Peaceful, yes, but also disconnected from the raw, messy, beautiful intensity of being fully human. You've transcended the ego, but you've also bypassed the body. You've accessed the absolute, but you've rejected the relative. You've found the divine, your godlike nature, but you've abandoned your humanity. This is what is called the transcendent bypass. And it's the most seductive trap on the spiritual path because it feels like arrival. It feels like an enlightenment. But there's a stage 3, and stage 3 changes everything. Here, we then start to awaken to what we had been rejecting, our humanity, the body, the simple human experiences in this physical relative plane. We start to realize what true union actually is, as Ram Dass beautifully puts it, reclaiming both our divinity and our humanity, allowing the union between the two. This is embodied transcendence and liberation, a transcendence into the all that is simultaneously embracing a state of being in body and all that comes with that, holding the richness of this human experience and how it all so fully matters, and simultaneously holding the deep realization that none of it matters at all. In stage 3, something big shifts. You begin to embrace the body's wisdom, the nervous system, emotions as energy, relationships as mirrors, leadership as a path, money and material life as tools, not traps. This is where you integrate the expanded awareness of stage 2 into the lived, grounded, fully embodied human experience. The paradox becomes clear. Everything matters deeply. And again, none of it matters at all. This is non-attachment, not distancing, not disassociation, not pretending you don't care. It's caring without clinging, engaging without gripping, going for life fully while holding it all with an open palm. This here is true liberation. And to take it one step further, and it's okay if it gets a little wobbly here, no attachment lives opposite to attachment. And so we arrive at a non-attachment to both non-attachments and attachments. And so what this means is to build your business with everything you've got and be completely unattached to the outcome, or notice the attachment to the outcome and be unattached to that. To love deeply like you've never loved before and simultaneously holding it with an open palm, to pursue your purpose with relentless intensity and maintain that quality of being I call relaxed intensity underneath it all. This isn't about being less passionate or less committed. It's about being more alive, more present, more effective, because you're no longer defending an identity or protecting an image or proving your worth. And you build businesses from a place of deep and genuine service. You're simply being and expressing and allowing the natural intelligence of your nervous system to move energy through you without the thinking mind trying to control or transcend or bypass what wants to fully be met here and felt. The body becomes your greatest teacher again, not something to transcend. Emotions become guidance, not disturbances to rise above. your humanity becomes the very ground in which your divinity expresses itself through. And this is where the practice shifts. NLP, neurolinguistic programming, and deep self and spiritual inquiry work supports the process of stage 2 beautifully. They help you see beyond the conditioned mind, beyond the ego construct, into the spaciousness of pure awareness. FBR is useful in stage 1 and stage 2, but is huge in supporting stage 3. The embodiment and the reclamation of the body and the energy that runs through it, that we then place the label of emotions onto. It's not mind-based breath work where you're directing the process of breathing. This serves a separate purpose. It's body-based breath work, where you surrender control and allow your nervous system's natural intelligence to complete those incomplete stress cycles, to release what hasn't felt safe to be felt, and to remember how to regulate itself brilliantly. Now, before I share the reflective process I mentioned at the start, just a quick note. I'm giving you as much as I can in these videos, but obviously I can't cover the full depth of this work here, or would be here for hours. This is the kind of thing I guide founders and entrepreneurs through one-to-one and inside my programs so they can actually integrate it into their leadership, into their day-to-day lives, their nervous systems, and the full spectrum of their life. And so if you feel called to go deeper, or you want support navigating these stages with precision, you can tap the Work With Me link below. There's a short video explaining who I can help and how I work. And if we're a fit, you're more than welcome to apply. And just so you know, you'll be speaking with me personally, not a salesperson. Now, let's bring this whole thing together. So where do you find yourself, and where have you noticed yourself in life? Stage 1, rejecting deeper woo-woo inner work altogether, fully focused on external achievement and material success. Stage 2, at the beginning or deep into exploring consciousness, accessing states of bliss and transcendence, but finding yourself floating above your life, perhaps struggling to fully show up in your business, your relationships, the messy, beautiful reality of being human. Or stage 3, embodying the paradox, starting to or have already reclaimed both your divinity and your humanity, going for life fully while holding it all with that open palm. And here's what I want you to understand. Wherever you are is exactly where you need to be right now. This isn't a race. There's no arriving at some final destination where you'll be done. We're traversing a spiral, moving into greater and greater depths of presence, clarity, and vitality. But if you're feeling that itch, that sense that there's something more, that something's missing, or that you've transcended your humanity but lost your aliveness in the process, that's the natural pull of the natural journey of maturation of human consciousness, stages of development. It's okay. That's your body inviting you back into the dance of deep engagement and deep allowance. To reclaim your humanity doesn't mean losing your divinity. It means expressing your divinity through your humanity, holding the relative within the absolute, being nobody and somebody simultaneously. This is the width of the path of inner work. Everyone's version within this path can look a little different, engaging different teachers, books, modalities. The most important thing is not up and out, but down and in. And to do this, to genuinely embody liberation, you need to support your nervous system in completing those incomplete cycles. You need to expand your window of tolerance through gentle titration, not spiritual bypassing. You need to let your natural intelligence guide the process instead of your thinking mind trying to hack the code or transcend the experience. Do this, and you'll find that spirituality includes, but is not limited to, achieving some elevated state, but rather about embodying your humanness so fully that your humanity itself becomes the most powerful expression of the divine. Move and breathe freely, feel deeply, love without reservation, build with purpose, serve with joy, and again, all while holding it all with an open palm. This is true liberation. This is the invitation. I really hope this video helps you see where you are and where you're being called to go next. Now, if you found this valuable, you need to watch this next video where I share the crucial highlights from a biohacking summit that shifted how I see the biohacking space and how science and spirituality are being recognized as inseparable, and why the world's top level leaders are engaging deeper work, confirming what health, longevity, and true nervous system support actually means. That's the video YouTube's recommending right there. I'll see you in the next one. Together in deep work, deep rest, and deep play.